Welcome back, Shalloners, and welcome, Smilers. Today we're going to talk about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth splitting up. Love is dead. Or is it? Or did we all kind of see this coming and maybe we're secretly rooting for it? Or were we rooting for them because we've been in so many on-off relationships where, like, if they can make it work, we can make our toxic situation work. Ugh. I'm going to break it all down and talk about why on-off relationships usually mean off. But first, let me remind you that if you want to talk to me privately and have a love question for me and want to chat one-on-one, find me on the Instant Go app. My username is ShallonXO and click chat to get connected. And follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO, where I let you guys weigh in on the next video topic and what angle I should take. And be sure to listen to my new podcast, Girl on Top, out every place podcasts are found, where I answer the best questions you guys submit to me. So Miley and Liam, man, it's not even like I'm surprised, like I am, but like I didn't think that once they got this far, they would break up. Do you know what I mean? Like I was shocked that they got back together after she was in her like weird vagina phase. That's what I call it. Like not most, but a lot of young women go through this phase. Bella Thorne is currently in it, where it's like they're like 19 to 21, like usually on the younger side. And it's like, I've got a vagina and everyone needs to know about it. And it's slutty pictures and it's raunchy talk and it's like fake, not fake, but just like faux lesbian relationships. Do you know what I mean? Like Frenching girls, fuck you, dad. Like these kinds of like demonstrative actions. And then you grow up a little bit and you get out of it and you're like, ugh. I feel sorry for Miley that hers was captured like on such a global stage, but she also chose to do it like that. So I was like shocked that, first of all, that Patrick Schwarzenegger like scooped her up. I was so jealous. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? A Kennedy swooped in on this. Okay. And then I couldn't believe that her and Liam got back together because everyone kind of had the same feeling. Bro, you were out. Like, just stay out. But then the relationship really did seem to be like really good and solid. They had all those animals. They went through that fire together, which was like the saddest thing in the world. And then they got married. And so I was like, oh, whew, like they did it. You know what I mean? Like they've clearly worked out all of their little issues. She's kind of found more even footing as a person in terms of her identity. Like I feel like she's not so like, rah, like fragmented. He's just always sort of in that like surfer bro, Australia, you know, toasty waves, whatever. And I'm like, all right, this is good. And now it falls apart. I'm like, what? And not only does it fall apart, she's like hooking up with Brody Jenner's ex-wife. Now I want to talk about Brody and Kaitlynn Carter for a minute. And because there was this big hullabaloo that like they weren't actually legally married. Guys, good for you. Getting legally married is for the birds. I have been married. I have been unmarried. And believe me, you don't want to have to get the law involved. It is psychotic and insane that the government, the United States government, would have to get involved with your breakup. What? Like, think about that. And it's like, well, the tax benefits, fuck your tax benefits. Fuck your tax benefits. You get divorced, financially, it is catastrophic. You are wiped out. So whatever it is you're saving in terms of taxes, bro, if it goes bad, it goes real bad. And it is hard and it's difficult. And I really think there's something to be said for adults having to work things out for themselves and not getting to go to a court and be like, I don't know, we can't figure this out. Who gets that wagon wheel coffee table? I don't know. You're an adult. You entered into an adult situation and you need to deal with it like an adult. You know what I mean? So I think two people, if they want to get like married, they should have a wedding, not get legally married. And like, nobody has to know. No, that is between you and him and Jesus and your officiant. And like, that's it. No one has to know. And like, then maybe like 5 years down the line, if things are going well, you can have a vow renewal and then get legally married if you want to. But it's like at this point, I'm like, what is marriage for? Like, I really think society, we've moved past the idea that you have to be legally wed to have a child. Like, come on. And like, is it supposed to be that sense of security? You know, like he loves me and this is how much he loves me. It's not a force field. It isn't. I know because I had one. I thought I did. And people can leave you, whether you're married or whether you're just a girlfriend. They can ghost you. They can break your heart. It does not prevent anything. It's more complicated. But like, again, do you want somebody to be in your life because of a legal obligation, because it's too hard to get away from you? Oh, that breaks my heart. I want someone to wake up and choose to be with me, choose me as their wife, whether that's a legal term or a term of love that you give to one another, every single day on purpose. Choose it. So I think Brody and Kaitlynn actually did it great. And apparently, like, he didn't want to marry her because he didn't want her to have access to his mom's money. Bro, that's a data point. I feel like I said the word bro like 10 times in this video. What am I doing? Who have I become? I'm hungover and really tired. And I guess this is like, when I'm tired, my brain defaults to like the lowest possible vocabulary. Bro, no. So like Brody, that's why bro wasn't like bro. It was bro, short for Brody. I'm trying to make this intentional. Brody, that's a data point. If you feel like you can't trust someone, you shouldn't marry them legally, unlegally, be dating them. That is a data point that you cannot ignore. And I wonder if maybe Miley and Liam weren't legally married either. You know what I mean? I didn't even know she knew Kaitlynn Carter. Like, I guess they're friends from like Malibu or something. I have no idea. I don't know. But I was surprised. So I'm like, I wonder if maybe Miley and Liam like did that first, like kind of kicked off that trend and inspired Brody and Kaitlynn. I don't know. I'm saying it right now. I won't be surprised if it comes out that Miley and Liam were not actually legally wed. And God, good. I hope they weren't. I hope they weren't. And they just have to like split things up amicably, like adults, and deal with it. So let's go back to Miley and Liam. Because I was like, what are the angles? You know, what angle can I take with this? Because I feel like there's so much to talk about. It's like, how do you siphon it down? And I asked you guys on my Instagram page, and a lot of you guys said two things. Why didn't it work out even after they got married? And should you keep giving relationships second chances? And this is all part and parcel of kind of the same issue. But first, like, marriage is not happily ever after. Marriage is not the end of anything. Dr. Phil said it, and you know, I love Dr. Phil. He's like, marriage changes everything, and yet it changes nothing. And I thought that's so interesting. And the more I think about it, and certainly experiencing it, it's true. It's like, it changes everything in that, okay, every issue now that you guys are dealing with, they're not going anywhere. These are the issues you're going to deal with forever, whether it's something minor like another goddamn wet towel on the bed, or something major like he wants kids and I don't, or whatever that is. And then nothing changes because exactly all of those things are still there. But like things do change in the sense that like you have now oriented your life to this person, okay? You have bought what they're selling. You have signed up knowing the facts, and you have accepted this scenario. Not saying you like it, but you have tacitly endorsed it for the rest of your life or until you decide to get divorced. Probably going to be the latter. This is what getting married is like. It's like going from unemployed to finding a job. When you're unemployed, you have a very specific set of stressors, right? No money. I don't know what I'm doing with my life. What do I do with my time, right? You get a job, and yes, those certain stressors are checked off that you're not dealing with that anymore. But you acknowledge that there's going to be a whole new list of different stressors. I hate my boss, office politics, my commute is long, I'm tired, I can't just take off whenever I want. Like, we understand that about a job, right? But for some reason, when it comes to love, we're like, no. A marriage is just tidy little bow, and then it's all done, and I'm never going to have a problem again. Whatever problems we had when we were dating, no. We're not going to have those problems. No. Our problems are going to be like, what kind of window coverings goes with this couch that I just bought? Girl, I mean, you're going to have the window covering talk as well, but all of those things that you didn't like about dating, here they are. Everywhere you go, here you are. You bring all of that into this scenario. Marriage solves nothing. Nothing. And if the only reason you want to get married is to think it's going to fix something, you need to look at your life and ask yourself, what is that thing that I'm trying to fix? What's that psychological itch you know that I always talk about? Is it my career is stagnating, or I don't even know what I want to be when I grow up? Like 90% of my sorority sisters, time out. I need to do like a rant video about my sorority because I'm so angry about this. You know, I get angry when I start speaking in a low tone. They're doing a reunion, and they literally, the only two people they didn't invite was me and my best friend, Shelby. I've never seen such petty shit in my entire life. Never. It's the most hurtful thing I've experienced as an adult in a really long time. and I'm so angry, like I don't even know what to do. Like I don't know what to do. You guys want a video on it? You can help me figure out how to deal with this like an adult, because I don't feel like being adultish. I feel like being childish. That's not, I set a good example for you guys. I'm setting a good example. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, how my sorority sisters all got married right out of college. And I think it's because they didn't want to ask themselves the question of like, what is my life going to be? Like, what do I want my career to be? What dreams am I not pursuing? What am I afraid of? What am I running away from? You know, but you get married and it's like, well, no one's going to ask you what you're doing with your life. I'm a bride, I'm a wife, I'm a mom. You know, it answers some of those questions, at least for a little while. But then you have to still answer them. You have to answer them internally. And now, not only do you still have to answer those, you got a fucking marriage to deal with on top of that. And you don't get to just answer those questions on your own now. No, you don't get to move to Greece and rent Vespas by the sea if that's your goal, because you got a husband and you got a mortgage, you got a Ford Focus, and you got all this stuff going on now. And it's so much easier to just answer that itch, to just look at that itch and be like, oh, fine, I will scratch you. The psyche must be heard. And she'll do it the easy way or she'll do it the hard way. It's up to you. I have tried in my life to let her be heard the easy way, because otherwise, yeah, you get like, you have the base issue and then you have the alcoholism, the binge eating, the marriage, the shopping addiction that you have to now sift through to get to that original problem you should have just paid attention to in the first place. Is this what happened with Miley and Liam though? Well, I don't know. So now we're going to focus on the other angle that you guys want to hear about, where it's like the on-off relationships, are they doomed? Yeah. I mean, yeah. One of the best pieces of advice I ever heard, it's called A Breakup Because It's Broken. There's literally a book title. There's a whole book about it. It's called A Breakup because it is broken. It's broken. And there's a lot to be said on people growing and maturing. Timing is everything. Love is logistics. Marriage is logistics. And you can't just fall for a person. You have to fall for their circumstances. And so that's why I think a lot of us were shocked about Miley and Liam, because it's like, it seems like she did grow. But then now that they're splitting up, it's like, okay, so their issues weren't just logistical. Their issues weren't just like, she had to get her yayas out and like go on stage with an inflatable wiener or whatever she was doing in like 2014. It's so weird. But like, clearly there's something beneath that. And so I have been in so many on and off relationships. I mean, just so many. And you know what I tell you guys, if it isn't a hell yes, I want to be with you. Hell yes. No breaks. We're figured out. No, I want to be with you. Then it's a hell no. It's a hell no for me. I don't want someone dancing in and out of my life in any category. I want to know my best friend is my best friend, that she's a ride or die. I want to know that the place I work is actually employing me. I don't want them to fire me and we'll hire you back and oh, it's not working out again. But do you want to come back for a summer, an internship, temporary contract? No, you don't accept that in those categories. I mean, if you do, you have self-worth issues, which we can examine and unpack at a later date. But like, it should be a hell yes from the beginning. And if it isn't, I believe in giving 1 second chance, you know, like one benefit of the doubt, one breakup benefit of the doubt, where it's like, you know what? We've each got some things to work out. I know what I have to do on my side. You know what you have to do on your side. Let's work and see what happens when we come back together, right? And that's the key. You have to know what your individual tasks are while you're apart, because time changes nothing. Time changes nothing. Time heals nothing. It is what we do with that time. And if you don't know, I mean, I'm sure you know what he's got to work on, right? It's like this and this and this. But do you know what you have to work on? Do you know the growth and the work you have to do as an individual? If you don't, ask the people around you. Girl, you know they got answers. Don't think for a second your friends don't know what you need to work on. They're like, oh, here's my PowerPoint. Slide 36, as you'll see, it says self-esteem and body image. Okay, take some notes. They've got answers. And go to a therapist. Ask a therapist. Ask your partner. Be like, you know what? I think we need to take some time apart. Tell me what you think I need, what I need to develop in myself that would make me a better partner to you, you know? And vice versa. Because then that's the only way you guys are going to have a shot at coming back together. But if there's more than one breakup, like Miley and Liam have been on and off for literally years, the hard part is, of course they love each other. And I hear this from you guys. I hear this from my friends. I hear this from me in my own life, in my own past. It's like, but I love him and we love each other and we have so much fun together. And when we're together, it's great, but it's the monster under the bed. I want to get married and he doesn't. He wants kids and I don't. We're not the same religion. We don't live in the same town because of our jobs and I don't want to quit mine and he doesn't want to quit his. There's some sort of like standoff happening, you know, whether you guys are willing to see it, there probably is a standoff. I want him to be more romantic and he doesn't. He wants to go out all the time and I want to stay home. He won't stop talking to his ex-girlfriend and I want him to only focus on me. There are things, and it's probably not just one. And look at whether or not you're arguing about issues or topics. You know, topics, or it's like he's always on Instagram. That's the topic. That's a topic. The issue is he's looking at other girls and I feel paranoid because he doesn't give me the feeling in the rest of our relationship that I'm his priority and that he loves me and he's committed to me. Instagram is just a symptom of that. And I don't know what Miley and Liam's topics and issues are. I don't know. I can assume her general personality. I don't know. But now they've got an issue, which is Kaitlynn Carter. I probably should have touched on this earlier, but we're back to it. Yeah, now she's like apparently hooking up with Kaitlynn Carter. And Miley said recently that like her being queer, like I'm queer and this is a huge part of who I am. And I was literally like, I've never heard this. Like I didn't know that she identified that way. I really didn't. Did I miss it? Did she date a girl? And like, I didn't know, honestly. I think I'm thinking of Kristen Stewart. I don't know. But I was like, oh, well, that's news to me. And I think I'm sure that that's had an impact on her life with Liam, because if you're still trying to figure out, like I always say, you can't be half of a whole if you don't know what half you are. And if she's trying to figure out something like her sexuality, like a really big component of having a relationship with someone else, like who am I attracted to? What kind of dynamic do I want to be in? Do I want to have like all this feminine energy in a relationship and be with another girl? Do I want a man who's like a very like boy's boy, you know, a traditional like bro? Said it again. Make this a drinking game. Shot for every time I say bro. So like if it's hard enough to be that positive half of a whole if you don't know where you stand in terms of like where you want to live, how you like to spend your weekends, how you feel about your body. I mean, something as large as sexuality, I'm sure that contributed to their relationship because I'm sure it contributed to how they connected with each other, because you can't connect to someone who doesn't know what sort of like connection plugs they have. It's like, well, I don't know who I am yet. So I feel like she's shifting a lot in terms of her identity, and like even her career is shifting, her sound is shifting, her aesthetic is shifting. So that is really hard to do with a husband. That's really hard to shape out your individual identity that changes so much when you are trying to fit it into what this other person needs. So if you're in a place in your life, and to a degree, we're all kind of we should be in a place of growth and fluctuation in our life a lot. I think that's what life is about, is learning and growing. But it is natural in a way to want to like latch on to a stable relationship as some sort of anchoring in our life. It's like, well, I might not know if I'm gay or straight, or if I'm a writer, or if I'm an architect, or if I like my mom, or if I hate my sister, but I know I've got him. I get it. I also get how fucking selfish that is. You can't have a person in the relationship with a job to do, with an agenda. You know, you see like the headline, baby to save the marriage. And I always think, oh my God, that poor child. Like a child shouldn't come into this world with a to-do list already. Certainly not something as large as save mom and dad's marriage. Nor should your partner, nor should you. I hear from you guys all the time, like, my boyfriend, he's depressed. He's depressed. It's like, and how is this your task now? Why did you take this on yourself? And he should never expect that of you. Yes, of course, we're our partner's emotional support system, we're their soft place to fall, all of that. But when we expect someone to be a wall and we're just a wave constantly breaking against it, or vice versa, that's going to get real old for our partner. Real old. Because you know what that basically is? A parent-child dynamic. Ugh. Whoa, I literally got douche chills thinking about it. I hate it. A parent-child dynamic is so toxic and yet so easy to fall into. And I think a lot of women, a lot of us girls fall into like the mom role. Oh, I clean up after him and like I make sure he eats okay and like he's sad and his tummy hurts. And so I'm taking care of him. And you know what? You know what the first casualty is? Your sex drive. Because moms don't fuck their sons, sweetheart. That's not how that goes. When you fall into that dynamic, it just drains the lust right out of you. It just siphons it right off. And I wonder if that's what happened with Miley and Liam, and he was like solid dad, you know, and she's just like, rah! And he just like wants to surf, you know, maybe grill in the backyard, whatever. I think maybe he was just like, maybe Liam, maybe I want to do a little exploration as well. Do you ever think about that, Miley? I could do this accent all day. I love it. It's like so satisfying. I feel like I'm burning calories to it because it's so hard. And it's really hard when you have just one person who gets to be the wild one, who gets to be the wings, and the other person has to be the roots. So look around your own life and see if you see these dynamics. Look around and see if there's a relationship that's been on, off, and that you, by, you know, virtue of that, have tried to twist yourself into this pretzel to be what this person needs. If it isn't a hell yes, it's a hell no. Life is so short and yet incredibly long when you're with someone who you simply don't fit with. And whatever it is you are, whatever it is you want, you can find them. You can find them. 8 billion people in the world. You literally think that this guy who you're trying to like make it work. Whenever you say that phrase, it's a done deal. You're doomed. You're absolutely doomed. You're never going to find that match until you let go of the branch you've got a grip on. You're never going to swing to something new until you let go. And it's scary and it's vulnerable. And it means you're going to have to sit down and scratch that psychological itch. But until you do that work, you're always going to be monkey vining around to these relationships, or sometimes back and forth to the same one. And we deserve better than that, right? I want to know your thoughts on what went on with Miley. Do you think she's actually hooking up with Kaitlynn Carter? They're in Italy and Frenching on the Riviera. It's pretty romantic. But is this just a rebound? Are they friends? Tell me your thoughts. We can do follow-up videos. I'll talk about these two till the cows come home. And I promise I won't be saying the word bro in the next videos. My apologies. Find me on Instagram at ShallonXO. And if you have a love quest you want to chat with me one-on-one, find me on the Instant Go app. It's available in every country of the world, Android and iPhones. Be sure to listen to my new podcast, Girl on Top. Talk to you later, Shalloners. Bye.